The NFL on CBS brings us to the campus of the University of Minnesota, the Vikings and the Chargers. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Kickoff is next.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
You could not ask for much better weather here in Minneapolis. 72 degrees, clear and sunny. Moments away from the kick as we send it downstairs and check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, and Philip Rivers has faced a Mike Zimmer-led defense 5 times in his career, and last week in Cincinnati provided a bit of a dress rehearsal for what this Chargers offense will see today. The Bengals still employ the defense that Zimmer brought there as coordinator for 6 seasons, a fact that Rivers told us meant that preparation this week had a bit of a carryover effect. They were actually able to take a portion of the game plan not used last week and bring it here to Minnesota, a rarity in this week-to-week NFL, guys.
Yeah, that's a great point, Evan. And Fran Tarkenton, the legend himself. Yeah, good lungs.
He has to with that thing. Great. You know, one of the all-time great ones. Most entertaining quarterback back in the 60s and early 70s, Fran Tarkenton. Great to see him here.
We're underway from Minneapolis. Josh Lambo kicks it off. San Diego won the toss, deferred for the second half. Patterson a little push. And Patterson goes down short of the 25. Adrian Phillips on special teams makes the play. Teddy Bridgewater, young guy who is coming into his own, and I know that they've got high hopes for what he can accomplish and what the ceiling is here in Minnesota.
He told us last season, with this being his rookie year, the offense kind of felt their way in the first quarter, and now they're getting it rolling sooner than they have. And today, very important to get a fast start and set the tempo against this Charger defense.
Double tight end set, Rudolph and Ellison. Give it up to Peterson. Leans forward for a gain of 2 on the play. Donald Butler combines with a Tachu to bring him down. Brandon Fusco, there were some concerns for Fusco with a concussion, but went through the protocol. He is in there starting for Minnesota. And the backs and receivers trying to develop that chemistry with a deep threat.
Wallace will test the Charger corners, Verrett and Patrick Robinson.
Steve Williams now in. Bridgewater throws to the outside. Charles Johnson, clean catch. And a first down for the third-year wideout from Grand Valley State. Defensively, this will be a big challenge for San Diego, dealing with the likes of Adrian Peterson on that front. They haven't produced a lot of sacks. Added responsibility for Teo today.
Yeah, he's got the green dot. That means he'll be in charge of getting the call and getting guys lined up correctly. You see the Vikings going right to the line of scrimmage now.
No Brandon Flowers, so we'll see Robinson. We'll see Williams as well. Peterson. Little stop and go for a yard and a half. Again, a Tachu is in on the stop for San Diego. Well, Adrian Peterson last week, 29 carries, 134 yards. He did have 3 fumbles, lost one of them. We talked about that ball security. He said that was on him. Up the gut for Peterson. That's a 5-yard pickup. And he mentioned to us, week 1, he knew it. He wasn't hitting it at full speed. He was hesitant. Week 2, he could feel the difference. He felt like himself again.
And on that carry, you could see it. Week 3, he's hitting it quickly. Just a blast play right up the middle against this Charger defense, something where Cincinnati had a lot of success last week, going right between the guards, right behind the center.
Kyle Rudolph sets up as a receiver. And a timeout taken by San Diego.
Yeah, confusion in the Charger secondary with Rudolph lying up outside beyond Jarris Wright.
So Minnesota will face a 3rd and 3 at the 13:07 mark of this opening quarter, and Mike Zimmer in his 2nd year as a head coach, 7-9 in his first season, 22nd year in the NFL, his 37th year as a coach. And his offensive coordinator is Norv Turner. Norv, of course, had a long run as the Chargers head coach with San Diego from 2007 to 2012. Went 56-40, 3-3 in the playoffs. Got a lot of different connections between these two teams, and nobody knows Philip Rivers better than Norv Turner. It's a 4-receiver set on a 3rd and 3. Rudolph, the motion man. Bridgewater operating out of the gun. Bridgewater lets it fly too high. He was looking for Jarius Wright. Bridgewater hit on the play, and it's 4th down for Minnesota. Tauchu with the pressure.
Tauchu also, number 91 coming in. Right up the middle there is Kendall Reyes, and that forced the bad throw. You could see how Bridgewater, expecting the hit, threw it off his back foot and behind the receiver.
Well, remember last week, Keenan Allen stepping in for the injured Jacoby Jones, muffed a punt on his first attempt. Jeff Locke, the punter. Allen waiting for it. Fair catch call for him. Plenty of room. I think he just wanted to get this thing in securely and get out of there.
I think you're absolutely right. The left-footed kicker, it's a tough reception at times. Got a flag down at the 50-yard line. Right about where the gunner's trying to escape. Could be holding against San Diego.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 48. Half the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
Nick DeZubnar called on the penalty. Phillip Rivers leads the NFL, completing 81% of his passes in the first 2 games. That's the best start in the NFL since 1960. Highest completion percentage to start out the season. He's got DJ Fluker back at right guard. Melvin Gordon gets the carry. Gordon going up the middle for no gain. Chad Greenway in defensively for Minnesota. Offensively, we mentioned Fluker. Chris Watt banged up.
He's less than 100% with a groin injury, so Trevor Robinson should get some snaps today as well.
Backs and receivers. John Phillips starting at tight end. No Ladarius Green. Green out with a concussion, and Green was in there for Antonio Gates serving that 4-game suspension. So we'll see Phillips, we'll see Miller, we'll see David Johnson. They'll mix and match. Mike McCoy said, hey, the game plan doesn't change, but the weapons do for Rivers. 2nd and 10. It's Gordon again, and there's nothing there. They're trying to go up the gut, give him a gain of 1.5 yards on the play. Linval Joseph there to greet him defensively on the front.
You can see this is a bad field position for San Diego after the penalty on the punt, being backed up in their own end. Very conservative with 2 straight running plays. It did not net very much.
So a 3-receiver set. Woodhead is in the backfield with Rivers operating out of the gun. It's a 3rd and 8 for San Diego. Rivers taking his time, trying to get Minnesota to tip its hand defensively. Rivers steps up, fires underneath. He gets Keenan Allen involved, but it's well short of a first down. Terrence Newman, the veteran, now in his 13th year, over there to make the play for the Vikings.
Now with Green out, and the Chargers going to use those tight ends for a lot today because they need to run the ball. But they will use 4 wide receivers as they did on that play. Again, very conservative call. A safe short pass to Keenan Allen.
Allen was held in check last week against Cincinnati. 2 catches, 16 yards after 17 targets in week 1. Cyphers the punt. Marcus Sherrills backpedals. Starts from the 19. Sherrills trying to get to the outside to the 30. And wrapped up at the 32. That's where the Vikings will have it. Pretty good field position after the 68-yard punt and 14-yard return. We're scoreless in the opening quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Honda. The power of dreams.
Opening week debacle in Santa Clara for the Minnesota Vikings. 20-3 loss to the 49ers. They couldn't stop Carlos Hyde. But last week bounced back. 350 yards of offense, 199 on the ground.
56! Flip!
10:44 to play in the first quarter. 3 tight ends in this formation. Rudolph, Ellison, and Pruitt. And Patterson in there as well. Peterson the cut. Peterson up the middle for 5. Good cut. And a good block by Pruitt.
Well, here are your 3 tight ends right here, so it makes sense to get Adrian Peterson in behind him. TJ Clemmings is well there, the rookie right tackle. Good job of creating a crease in the defense, picking up 4 solid yards.
So second down, Wallace and Johnson back out there. More traditional look here for Minnesota. They have Peterson with line in front of him. Play fake. Bridgewater, protection holds up. Bridgewater fires. He's got Wallace with a flag down. And Wallace first down at midfield. Will it stand? 13 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, they may flag Jason Verrett for holding on the outside.
Number 12. Penalty
That's Charles
decline.
Johnson.
First down.
The time to throw that time for Bridgewater. He was able to step into the throw cleanly. Chargers struggling to find a pass rush this year. Just one sack on the year, and that came in the first game against Detroit.
Bridgewater has completed at least 70% of his passes in 6 of his last 7 games. 2 of 3 to open up here. Just shy of midfield, a jump on the left side of the San Diego D, right side of the Minnesota line.
Neutral zone
jumped
infraction.
in, and
Defense number 94.
he's going to get flagged
5-yard
for it
penalty.
because it was a heads-up play by Mike Harris, a former teammate with the Chargers. At right guard, he moved immediately and gets the flag against Legion.
Mike McCoy, now in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Chargers, he said, yeah, there's a lot of familiarity with these 2 teams, but the bottom line is you have to go out and play the game. All that stuff doesn't mean anything once you get out there. Jason Verrett was shaken up on the previous play. He went to the sideline, so Steve Williams is now in.
He didn't practice this week. Bad foot.
Peterson cuts to the outside. Adrian Peterson veers out of bounds. 21-yard rip for Peterson.
Now here's Jimmy Wilson, the safety. Now Peterson is going to bounce to the outside. He's got great vision, as all great running backs do. Good crease there for him. Wilson misses the tackle. And it's a huge gain for Adrian Peterson of 21 yards.
San Diego was also down another player in the secondary, Jaleel Adai. Bridgewater throwing, end zone, it's dropped. Rudolph had a chance at it. Donald Butler among those in the end zone defensively for San Diego.
Now he's got 10 catches on the season. He scored a touchdown last week. I don't know if he lost this one in the sun or not, but it went right through those big mitts of his. Butler on the coverage a little bit late. Just a drop pass, a dropped touchdown pass for Rudolph.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Now deep in San Diego territory. Take the handoff. Bridgewater throwing off his back foot. End zone. Picked off. Intercepted by Williams. Minnesota turns it over. Charles Johnson, the intended target.
That's a first career interception for Stevie Williams, the 3rd-year player out of California. Great coverage here on Charles Johnson. He locates the ball without interfering on Johnson and makes the grab in the end zone. Huge play for San Diego.
Wednesday, don't miss the premiere of the new medical drama Code Black. Academy Award winner Marcia Gay Harden stars, premiering Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. San Diego had only 7 interceptions all of last season. They've got 3 in the first 3 games so far. And the Chargers take over with 8:57 to go on the first and 10 at the 20. On the delay, Woodhead bangs his way to the 25 for a gain of 5 on the play.
Let's go back to the interception and see how the pressure from Melvin Ingram affects this throwing motion by Bridgewater. The Chargers have forced 2 incompletions. They've had Vikings a drop pass in the end zone, and there's the interception by Stevie Williams.
So they pick off Teddy Two Gloves, and San Diego going no huddle on a 2nd and 5. From the gun, Rivers gets rid of it. In stride, it's Woodhead. Big gain. Danny Woodhead knocked down at the 47. That's a 22-yard catch and run for the diminutive Danny Woodhead. Anthony Barr on a whiff.
Well, he's a mismatch coming out of the backfield. From the left side of the screen, you can see him just run away. No moves necessary, just pure speed to get beyond the linebacker Barr.
22 yards, that's the longest play against the Vikings defense this season. And a new set of downs for San Diego. Gordon plants, tries to cut, and driven backwards. Melvin Gordon grew up idolizing Adrian Peterson as a football player. His memories go back to Peterson's Oklahoma days, and we asked him, hey, have you ever met him? He goes, no, but I want to.
And I'm sure he will after the game. And Peterson is a fan of Gordon's. He gave him a highest compliment when he said he's got the it factor. Expects him to be a great one.
2nd and 10 now for the Chargers. Motion man is John Phillips. Johnson, Allen, and Floyd all in there. Gordon's got a running lane. Tripped up. Looked like Gordon was going to be able to pick up the first down. Instead, he's cut down after the gain of 8 by Sindejo.
Now watch Phillips come in with the block here, but then watch also the vision of Gordon cutting it all the way back over his left tackle, King Dunlap.
Nickel package here for Minnesota. Captain Munnerlyn is in. 3rd and 2 for the Chargers.
San Diego's burning another timeout. One on defense when they only had 10 men on the field, and now Rivers, the confusion caused by the substitution, forces a second TO.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
San Diego uses its second timeout. They now face a 3rd and 2. 6:39 mark of the first quarter. Gordon in the backfield needs 2 yards. Gordon drives, and he's stuffed short. What do you do?
Now knowing Mike McCoy is going to bring out the punt team here, wants to play a field position game. It's really a super play of stuffing Gordon as he tried to cut it back again. He had success on an earlier play cutting it back to his left, but that time the Vikings were stacked up on that line.
Gordon averaged 5.5 yards per carry last week in that loss to Cincinnati, but we didn't see him in the fourth quarter. So far, 5 carries, just 11 yards for Gordon today. Cyphers to punt it. Marcus Sherrill's waiting for him. Trying to pin them deep. Cyphers does his job. He has punted at a Pro Bowl level for so many years. 38-yard punt. Stuckey getting down there on special teams. The Vikings D comes through in this opening quarter. We remain scoreless. So far for Minnesota, started out on its own 24, 5-play, 18 yards, resulting in a punt. Then from its own 32, had a long drive, but the interception by Bridgewater. Pin deep on a give. Peterson tries to cut it to the outside, limited to a 2-yard gain on the play by Reyes.
Well, pressure by Reyes forces this underthrown pass by Bridgewater, and then a little bad luck for Minnesota. Again, it's underthrown pass, though. Rudolph drops that one, and then Ingram with good pressure. So John Pagano, defensive coordinator for San Diego, he says sacks are overrated. Sure, he'd like to have more, but pressure is more important. It forces more bad throws.
Bridgewater 4-0 at home in his young career here at TCF Bank Stadium, and John Pagano getting after the young QB. 2nd and 8. Nice fake. Bridgewater almost kicked off again. Fortunate that Robinson didn't bring it in securely for Minnesota's sake. Kyle Rudolph, the intended target.
Really a great read by Patrick Robinson. It's a zone defense here as he drops back from the flat. Ball trying to get squeezed into Adam Thielen. But that's a dropped opportunity for the Chargers. Would have set him up in great field position, if not taken all the way back to the end zone.
So now a 3rd and 8 for Minnesota. Bridgewater. Deep ball. Triggers it. Incomplete. Flag down. Charles Johnson tried to make the over-the-shoulder grab, but a penalty marker on the play. Steve Williams back there defensively.
That's going to be pass interference against Williams. A lot of hand fighting going down the field, and then you got to question whether this ball was catchable.
Defense number 23. Automatic first down.
Terry McCauley, veteran referee on the call.
So the Vikings are going to go after Stevie Williams, apparently. You can see he's grabbing the jersey, and that is what gets the flag here. Ball definitely was catchable without that tug on the right shoulder. of Charles Johnson.
So Minnesota's got it with a fresh set of downs at the 43. Wright and Thielen in there, 34-yard penalty. Ellison shifts to the backfield for running play. Peterson wrapped up immediately by Ingram. Read the play perfectly for San Diego as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just want to keep you up to date as this secondary deals with injury issues. Ian, you mentioned Jason Brett. He came off the field. Now, he still has his helmet. I've been told he's still available. But before this game, he was working out to test that foot. And something that just came up off the punt was Craig Mager, now a reserve corner. He's on the sideline with a left hamstring injury. With how thin they are, that could be an issue. Still waiting official word, but he was in a ton of pain.
And Evan Flowers out with a knee injury. Adai is out with an ankle injury. It's a toss. Peterson. Wow. San Diego's defense converging on Peterson with Ingram and Weddle leading the charge for the Chargers.
Yeah, and you always hear that term about setting the edge. Well, this edge is set by the Chargers. And it's not just one guy. Look at all the white jerseys coming to hem in and bring down the dangerous Peterson. 2-yard loss on that play. Tremendous team defense.
Adrian Peterson set an NFL record with 296 yards rushing in a game against San Diego, November of 2007. Back-to-back negative runs for Peterson. This is a 3rd and 13 now for Minnesota. Asiata is in on the passing down. Bridgewater. Rudolph trying to get extra yardage, but he will come up short. Jimmy Wilson over there defensively. It's a 10-yard pickup, and Minnesota will punt.
Pretty good game defensively so far, as both teams, regardless of injury situations, are really stepping forward. Rudolph doing his best to try to get to the first down marker. Comes up about 3 yards shy. But again, turns into a field position game here.
How about this, Ted? San Diego has not held a lead at any point in the first 3 quarters of their game so far. A punt from Lott to Allen. And again, Allen goes for the fair catch. He's not taking any chances. And an injured Viking on the play. It is Justin Tratow. And he is slow to get up.
He had a big play last week against Detroit with an interception, playing on special teams.
And Tratow needs some help. Undrafted free agent back in 2011, played with the New York Giants out of Ramsey, New Jersey. And can't put any weight on that left foot.
Yeah, let's check out the injury to Justin Tratow. It's his, and he stepped on the ankle of his fellow blocker there. Looked like McCole Pruitt, and looks like a sprained ankle.
San Diego has it at the 20. 3:02 to play in this first quarter. Rivers fires it at the feet of Gordon, incomplete.
As a wise throw at the feet by Rivers, because there was nothing there for Gordon. There's going to be a little screen pass, and the Vikings, playing man-to-man, were right in the middle of that screen pass.
Last week, Rivers, a couple of touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. They actually entered week 2 second in the NFL in giveaways, 6. Indianapolis with 8. 3 turnovers in each of the first 2 games for the Chargers. 2nd and 10, playing without Ladarius Green, so more of John Phillips and company. Rivers play fake. Rivers incomplete. Keenan Allen making an attempt, but Xavier Rhodes back there defensively. Rhodes, strong job against Calvin Johnson last week.
You can see the coverage here by Rhodes. He's right behind Keenan Allen. He's ready to make a break on that ball. Ball surprisingly thrown so far behind the two of them that neither of them could make a play on it.
It's a 3rd and 10 now for San Diego. Woodhead checks in. Rivers steps up. Rivers ball gets knocked free. Scramble for it. Barr gets in there for Minnesota. And that ball's still loose.
Well, Orlando Franklin did a good job of digging that ball out. I think he's got this recovery. But again, it's pressure on the quarterback. Now they're saying Minnesota has the ball.
And the Vikings take over deep in San Diego territory.
Now this happened to Philip Rivers last week against Cincinnati. Question is, did he have control of the ball as his arm was coming forward? You can see his arm is hit. That kind of prevented his arm from ever coming forward.
Anthony Barr put the heat on Rivers.
Yep, that's a fumble. He was actually taking the ball back to bring it forward, and Barr got in there, hit him in the bicep. Back-to-back fumbles under pressure by Rivers in back-to-back weeks.
That is the 4th fumble loss this season by San Diego, and the Vikings have it with a 1st and 10 at the San Diego 13. Give it up to Peterson. Gang tackled at the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain.
Well, that 6-yard gain, pretty predictable that the Vikings are going to start the drive this type of field position with Peterson. But what it does, because they gain 6 on 1st down, it sets up a lot of play-action possibilities. Norv Turner loves the play-action pass. Peterson a little slow getting up after that tackle.
Last week, chance of AP. He was welcomed back with open arms. Adrian Peterson, 672 days since his last touchdown. Saved a 15-game suspension last season. Peterson stood up and brought down Jimmy Wilson among those there for the Chargers.
And also good penetration by Manti Te'o as the Vikings came with that 3 tight end set again, but instead of running in behind the tight ends, Peterson decided to take it over the middle, and Te'o forced him to stumble just a little bit as he approached the line of scrimmage.
It's a 3rd and 3 now for Minnesota. Right the motion man. Bridgewater buying time. Bridgewater incomplete in the direction of Rudolph. And the field goal unit will come on. Donald Butler put the pressure on Bridgewater.
Well, the coverage in the secondary was perfect for San Diego. Wright has nothing there because of Stevie Williams. And then Rudolph is covered by Wilson. Good pressure as well that time by Melvin Ingram. He's got such a quick first step to get in the secondary, into the backfield.
Blair Walsh is on for the field goal attempt of 24 yards. Walsh knocks it through. Minnesota gets points off of the turnover. They knocked the ball away from Philip Rivers. Recovered by Munnerlyn. They turn it into 3. Your weekend starts with Thursday Night Football. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers take on Joe Flacco and the Ravens. It's on CBS and NFL Network. 3-0 lead for Minnesota.
Yeah, defensively, the Chargers not getting any sacks on Bridgewater, but the pressure has forced his incomplete passes. That time Ingram shot out of a cannon at the quarterback. Great anticipation on the snap count.
So that's a win for San Diego, all things considered. Where Minnesota took over the football. Walsh now kicks it off. Deep man is Oliver. And Mr. Carrion through the back of the end zone. Chargers will have it at the 20-yard line. San Diego 7-2 against NFC teams since the start of the 2013 season. Philip Rivers, first 3 possessions for the Chargers. Not much to speak of.
Well, you've got two tremendous talents at tight end in Gates and in Green that aren't here today, can't play for different reasons, and that's the worst case scenario for this offense because of the ability to make plays for Phillip Rivers and his confidence in the two of them.
On first down for San Diego. They now trail 3-0. Gordon, he's got room on a shake and bake. Gordon carries for 7 yards and brought down by Eric Kendricks, the rookie out of UCLA.
And Trevor Robinson has replaced Chris Watt at the center position. Watt playing with a groin injury, and the Chargers concerned that it could be a lingering situation for him, and Robinson a very capable backup.
Under a minute to go now in the first. It's a 2nd and 3 for San Diego. Rivers. Underneath, catch and run. It's Keenan Allen. And that's where Allen does his damage. San Diego #1 in the NFL in yards after the catch. That one covers 16.
Well, Cincinnati last week was so effective taking away this type of pass. Just a short little drag route over the middle and then get the ball into a playmaker's hands with that running ability. Great move, and he got out of bounds, out of harm's way.
19 seconds to play in the first. It's Gordon. Tries to bulldoze, picks up 2. Harrison Smith read it well. Smith is playing at a high level for this Minnesota defense. And that'll do it. Final play of the opening quarter. Defensive battle between the Vikings and the Chargers. We'll have second quarter action coming up, and we'll return to Minneapolis after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. George Edwards, defensive coordinator of the Vikings. So far this season, no points allowed in the first quarter. One of 2 teams, Denver being the other, that has accomplished that. Changes on that offensive line. Now it's Hairston in. You mentioned Trevor Robinson spelling Chris Watt. Watt banged up. Fluker trying to come back from that ankle injury. Watt dealing with a groin injury. And this is a 2nd and 8 now. First play of the second quarter for the Chargers. Rivers knocked up and incomplete.
Well, this ball hits the back of King Dunlap's head, 6'9", and watch Rivers trying to get the ball out to Brandon Oliver's just going to drill his big left tackle right in the back of the head.
It's a big noggin.
That's a doink. That's a John Madden doink. He's head off the goalpost.
Either way, it's appropriate. 3rd and 8. Shotgun for Rivers. Rush is coming. Rivers unloads to the sideline. Too high for Allen. Terrence Newman, who played for Mike Zimmer in Cincinnati, there defensively for Minnesota.
George Edwards is changing things up on Rivers. Look at the blitz coming. Munnerlyn out of the safety spot. Barr right up the middle. There's the tight coverage on the outside by Terrence. Hello, Newman.
That works.
Couldn't wait. Could not wait. My favorite player.
I believe you say it every year. Seifritz's the punt.
Shanked it.
And takes a Minnesota bounce out near the 35-yard line. Now the Minnesota D has come to play.
Well, they're stopping the run. That's the big thing here. Harrison Smith coming from the safety spot. And then the big play that led to the 3 points was the 3rd career forced fumble by Anthony Barr, just in his 2nd year. Munnerlyn with the recovery.
So they place the football at the 33. It's a 3-0 lead for Minnesota. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL and CBS crew. McKinnon gets an opportunity. Weaves through the middle. And Jerick McKinnon, 8.5 yards on the play. 3rd-round pick last year. Now being used as a change of pace back. Last year without Peterson, it was McKinnon and Asiata who both got opportunities. Quick count. McKinnon falls forward. He's got a first down.
Yeah, really smart, quick count, too. Chargers reeling after the first carry by McKinnon. Bridgewater gets up to the line of scrimmage, snaps it quickly, and the result is a first down out to the 45. But that's a good little changeup for the Vikings. McKinnon with the experience from last year, and a smaller back, but very, very quick.
56.
So new set of downs for Minnesota to work with now at the 35-yard line. McKinnon drilled in the backfield. Nice play. Robinson over there. It's a loss of 1.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater knew that the Chargers were going to come up with a blitz of the week here. This time it's off the slot, the corner, Patrick Robinson. Gets in quickly there with Melvin Ingram.
And Dan, Jason Verrett is back in for San Diego. It's a 2nd and 11, 52 rushing yards in his first half for Minnesota. Bridgewater gets rid of it quickly. He hits Wright, but Wright didn't have his footing. Hit immediately by Williams. JB and Tony Gonzalez back in New York. NFL Today update.
Iron, Darren Sproles still with plenty of juice in his leg.
There, you got a lot of juice right here, JB. Look at this right here. He's going to take this punt return. He's going to take it all the way back 89 yards, making everybody miss along the way. I'll tell you what, this is his 6th career punt return for Darren Sproles. He's off to a good start. The Eagles are off to a good start, 10-0.
It's only 9 games, but the Jets have never beaten the Eagles. Back to Iron Eagle.
No relation, by the way, JB. I'll have to check my lineage. Bridgewater pulls the trigger. Perfectly timed to Mike Wallace on a sideline route. Jason Verrett in coverage, 19 yards. It's a strike from Bridgewater.
And Wallace knows his footwork. Perfect. Left foot, right foot. 385 career catches. And that's as pretty as any of them.
So Minnesota is on the move now at the 35 of San Diego. Asiata, 2 yards. Kendall Reyes there defensively.
You go back to last time the Vikings had the ball. Adrian Peterson was a little slow getting up. Makes you wonder now if he's just getting a natural rest on the sidelines or if there may be a problem as Asiata now has replaced McKinnon.
Cordero Patterson is in. Patterson's role as a receiver has been limited compared to previous years. 2nd and 8. Bridgewater from the gun. Gets rid of it to Thielen. The Detroit Lakes, Minnesota product, picks up 5 yards on the play. Now in his 2nd year from Minnesota State, former member of the practice squad. So it's a 3rd and 3. And some news to pass along. Adrian Peterson, his wife Ashley, gave birth to a son 9:27 a.m. this morning. Axel Eugene Peterson.
Congratulations, family.
3rd and 3 now. Under 11 minutes to play in the first half. Minnesota looking for more points. Bridgewater on a flip. Asiata in stride. First down, good angle. Well executed, 5 yards.
Eric Weddle knew this play was coming. Watch number 32. He's right here, but he knows that this is going to be a little swing pass. Just a little bit late there, makes the tackle, but a really well-designed play and executed perfectly by Asiata and Bridgewater.
And Peterson is back in on a first down. Fake it. Bridgewater against the grain. Jarius Wright breaks the tackle. Knocked out of bounds. Steve Williams couldn't bring him down initially. 17 yards. And the Vikings in business, a 1st and goal at the 5.
Well, it's a rollout here by Bridgewater, but he's looking at number 17 the whole way, crossing the field, making his move there to get away from Williams. Lowers his shoulder. Now he's going to take a big hit from Ingram, keeps him out of the end zone. Bridgewater, perfect, 5 for 5 on this drive.
1st and goal for the Vikings. Peterson up the middle. Tries the spin move, and then San Diego on the 2nd effort defensively stacks him up.
And this is the area of the field that Peterson had trouble with securing the ball last week against Detroit. 2 fumbles here in this part of the field where he trying to stretch and get into the end zone. One was nullified by a penalty. The other one was recovered by the Lions.
142 straight carries without a touchdown for Peterson. Extra offensive lineman Austin Shepard is in for the Vikings. 11th play of the drive. 2nd and goal. Trying to build on the lead. Peterson slices free. Peterson is in. Touchdown, Vikings. The drought is over for Adrian Peterson.
And Norm Turner started his coaching career at USC, and this looks like so many of the USC blast plays. Behind the fullback Zach line, over the right guard, and behind the center, Mike Harris and Joe Berger. Peterson breaks that drought with a dramatic spin to the end zone.
Adrian Peterson. First touchdown since November of 2013 for Peterson. Extra point from Blair Walsh. Missed an extra point last week. Converts on this one, and it's a 10-0 lead for Minnesota. AP is back in the Twin Cities, and he's back in the end zone for the Vikings.
Chargers goal line defense employs 3 linebackers, and the man in the middle is the rookie, Denzel Perryman. Watch his angle here as he gets blocked there by Mike Harris, and Peterson in the end zone. But 11-play drive, 67 yards, and special teams for San Diego costing them because of that 22-yard shank punt by Mike Cyphers.
So just 61 total yards in this first half for the San Diego offense. They've given up 140 to Minnesota. The Chargers last week outgained Cincinnati 389 to 354 in a losing effort. Kickoff from Walsh, and he drills it. Big kick for the touchback. Can Rivers and the Chargers offense get into gear?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX.
Scary, isn't it?
Don't move. Never move.
Tremendous Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and our cameraman John Bruno hanging in there.
But he
The
didn't
flying
move.
daggers. He did not move. I think that's where you take the man's advice.
Especially when he has a hatchet.
Did you see that jousting as well?
Yeah, that was nice.
First down throw to John Phillips.
I'm a big jouster.
Yeah, you tend to joust a great deal with various people. 8-yard pickup on first down. San Diego is trying to get into a rhythm here.
It's hard because they're playing musical chairs up front with their offensive line.
DJ Fluker is back in. We saw Hairston on the last possession. Rivers on a 2nd and 2. The catch, and Johnson tries to curl. He had the first down on the initial grab.
Yeah, he did. Cost him.
Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now.
Big mistake by Stevie Johnson trying to make more out of very little there. If he catches the ball and sits down, the Chargers have a first down.
And the Chargers are 0 of 4 on third downs today. This is a 3rd and 1 for San Diego. 3 tight ends in this formation. Third and 1, a gift to Johnson. David Johnson. It'll be enough. And it's Johnson who lost his hat on the play. Johnson has played fullback in the NFL. 7th round pick by Pittsburgh back in 2009, signed as a free agent last year.
Yeah, his first carry of the season. He's still looking for his first reception. It's a cross-up here by the Chargers, and a good one because it's just enough to pick up the first down.
No Ladarius Green, who had 5 catches for 47 yards last week, a concussion, the second one he suffered in a 2-week period. They count it down to the 7-minute mark of this first half. 10-0 lead for Minnesota. Rivers tries to loop one. Oh, what an effort. John Phillips. Clean catch by Phillips. Known more as a blocker. Maybe he's going to change his reputation. That's a 15-yard grab.
They're heading to the line of scrimmage, so there'll be no replay challenge by the Vikings.
San Diego runs a play, and it's Woodhead drilled down for no gain.
John Phillips with a one-handed catch here. Wearing number 83 reminded me of a guy I threw the ball to, number 83, John Jefferson. That was a smart play by Rivers because that one might have been reversed as the ball hit the ground. Tremendous effort by Phillips and a smart move by Rivers to get to the line of scrimmage.
Did you ever feel like you would make the Phillips-Jefferson comparison?
I will now, forever. What a catch.
2nd and 10 for San Diego. 6:10 to play in the second quarter. Gordon will shift out of the backfield. Shotgun for Rivers. Steps up and fires. It's Allen. On that crossing route, Keenan Allen, modest gain, brought down by Harrison Smith. He's a quick study. Mike Zimmer had high praise for Smith, saying, you tell him something once, he's got it. Great vision, smart. He works at his deficiencies.
And he studied Chicago Bear defensive back Charles Peanut Tillman on how to strip the ball. Got one last week against the Lions.
He said the problem is he tries it in practice. He ends up just punching people. He misses the ball. But it's his guys, so they don't get angry.
Not when he gets it out every now and then.
3rd and 7 now. Crowd is playing a factor. Play clock down to 2. They handle the rush initially. Rivers hit from behind. Everson Griffin. Pressure from Minnesota, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Griffin had 12 sacks last year for the Vikings. Doesn't get one here, but again, it forces an incompletion. He overpowers King Dunlap and then just drills Rivers in the back. Remember, Rivers suffered a number of injuries last year, one of them to his back that affected his play.
This is an offense that had 483 yards week 1 against Detroit. They've been held to under 100 in the first half. Cyphers had a shank on his last attempt. This one much better, and Sherrill's fair catch called for at the 12, 40-yard punt. 10-0 lead for Minnesota, 5:12 left in the first half. Tomorrow, catch a new Life in Pieces, the most watched new comedy of the season, after a new Big Bang Theory, right here on CBS. They love their Vikings in Minneapolis. 1st and 10 from the 12. Peterson tries to double back and drives just across the 15. Let's go downstairs. Evan Washburn standing by with a Hall of Famer, Fran Tarkenton.
Guys, here with a special guest. And Fran, as we were talking, this is a rarity for you to be on the sideline for a Vikings game. How's it feel to be back?
It's good to be back. It's good to be on the field and see games down at this level. It's great.
I'd love to get your opinion and thoughts on Teddy Bridgewater. Still early in his career, but as a guy who knows quarterbacks as good as anybody, what do you think of Teddy?
The stage is not too big for him. It's too big for a lot of players. He's got all the skills, but he really handles himself well. He had a struggle starting off today. Look how he came back. That's what quarterbacks do.
We've got a Super Bowl coming here to Minnesota in a few years. What that means for this city and for you, a guy who's a legend here.
Well, we were in 4 of the first 11 Super Bowls. Ran out of time in each and every one. It means a lot to us, and we're very proud of our heritage here, and to have a Super Bowl back here is great. I hope we're playing in it.
I really appreciate the time, and Dan, I just want to let you know, he let me know of all the good advice he's given you over the years.
There was one piece of advice, particularly on a bus, Dan, that Fran made you aware of.
Well, he told me how to handle head coaches, which it was tremendous advice, and I used on everybody except Don Coryell.
Yeah, and advice that you can't really repeat on
Right,
television.
if you don't like your coach, you just play bad enough, and they fire him.
I guess that's how it works, right?
Worked a couple of times.
I also like Fran on That's Incredible with John Davidson and Catherine Crosby. Kyle Rudolph underneath.
Hey, you have the box set, don't you?
I do. I just fire up the DVDs or on the beta.
You know, the key thing that I heard from Fran there is about Bridgewater, and on the previous drive, It was an 11-play drive, but he got 7 different players involved in the offense. And that just shows the maturity of the young quarterback.
So Keenan Allen will get another opportunity here. It's been fair catch after fair catch, not taking a lot of risks. Jeff Locke, the left-footed punter, puts it in the air. Sailing kick. Allen, it's over his head. Flag is thrown. Allen scoops it up. Allen is down at the 31. 60-yard punt, 11-yard return. Kendricks on special teams down the field.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 15. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Dontrell Inman called on the hold. Phillip Rivers has some time to work with. 3:34 left on the clock, second quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. And by Pandora, the next song matters.
Back in Minneapolis, where the Vikings lead it 10-0 over the San Diego Chargers. Only 12 players remain on the roster that played for Norv Turner. One of those players, I'm including Antonio Gates, who's not officially on the roster right now because of the suspension. But Phillip Rivers, when we asked him about Norv, he said, so many good times, so many victories, a lot of laughs. And those two were simpatico. They were on the same page and how to approach this game, how to approach playing the quarterback position at this level. Rivers throws to Malcolm Floyd, his first opportunity, and Floyd thrown down after the gain of 6 by Xavier Rhodes.
Now, if it seems like the Chargers have been backed up all day, well, they have. Their average start position has been the 16-yard line. They've started at the 24 times. That's the best they could do.
Quick snap. And it's Melvin Gordon. It's a 4-yard gain, and it's a first down for San Diego. JB, Tony Gonzalez standing by in New York. NFL Today update.
And Philly getting untracked.
Yeah, you're going to see the wheel route coming out here. Bradford hits Ryan Matthews in stride. Philly all over the New York Jets, 17-0.
And there is an injury on the other side. We'll bring you up to date on that as soon as we get the information. Back to Ian Eagle.
All right, JB, it's Orlando Franklin. Signed a big contract during the offseason from Denver. He's up on his feet, being helped off. Injuries on that San Diego offensive line piling up. Orlando Franklin, the last play.
Watch his right knee as Brian Robeson is engaged with another Charger offensive lineman, but the Chargers now have only 5 healthy offensive linemen.
And it's Hairston now in at left guard. Fluker is in at right guard. Trevor Robinson is the center. It's a first down for San Diego. Clock is moving. 2:45 left in the first half. Chargers have 1 timeout to work with. Rivers is sacked. Thrown down by Griffin. It's a loss of 8 on the play.
2.5 sacks on the season now for Griffin. Working against King Dunlap, a healthy San Diego Charger offensive lineman. That's twice now that Griffin has beat Dunlap. This time he gets all the way to the quarterback, who goes all the way to the ground.
And they're all the way back to the 12-yard line. On a 2nd and 18. Knocked away. Trying to set it up for Johnson underneath. And again, it's Griffin. We hit the 2-minute warning. San Diego can't get out of its own way on offense. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower. Scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. It's a 3rd and 18 now for San Diego. 2 minutes on the clock. Chargers elected to run a play before the 2-minute warning. Rivers steps up, fires, deep ball. It's caught by Malcolm Floyd. Breathing room And then some for San Diego.
Tremendous pass. The pressure on Rivers. He moves around in the pocket just enough to allow Floyd to get way down the field. And look at this ball and the separation that Floyd gets. Andrew Zendejo left him in his wake.
39 yards on the hookup. Rivers. Connection to Keenan Allen. He gets hit hard by Kendricks, but that covers 8 yards. And we've got a minute 42 left in this first half.
And that's why you can never count out Phillip Rivers. Regardless of the situation, he's capable of making spectacular plays like that one to Floyd.
And Minnesota uses a timeout. So a 2nd and 2 for San Diego coming up. Looking for some points before we hit the break as we send it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just a quick update on Orlando Franklin, who we saw off the field there. He couldn't put any weight on that right leg. They were actually working more on the right leg than the right knee. He had to leave on a cart. No official word from the Chargers of his availability yet, but it did not look good, guys. He was screaming as he left the field, and he was in obvious frustration on the cart as he went into the locker room. As soon as I get more, I'll let you know. And obviously center Chris Watt, who is dealing with the groin, does not have his helmet and does not look to be available. As soon as I get official word on him, I'll let you know as well.
All right, Evan. San Diego also traded Jeremiah Searles, a backup offensive lineman, to Minnesota earlier this month. 2nd and 2 now for San Diego. Just shy of the 41. Play clock down to 2. Rivers to the sideline. Keenan Allen much more involved here. And Allen turns that into a first down. It's a 7-yard pickup, out of bounds with a minute 29 left.
And you talk about turning the field around. Rivers on a 3rd and 18 throws 39 yards to Floyd from his own 12-yard line, and now the Chargers are threatening.
Inside the Minnesota 35.
55 flipper.
Rivers guns it downfield. Incomplete. He was looking for Allen. Keenan Allen dealing with double coverage back there. 2nd and 10 for San Diego.
Now man-to-man coverage in the secondary because the Vikings are blitzing on this play. Rivers sees it, that there's no safety in the middle of the field. Good job of coming off his primary receiver there by Munnerlyn. Forces that ball to be overthrown.
Phillip Rivers has dealt with the pressure here from the Minnesota defense today. But everybody lined up. Woodhead will shift to the other side. 2nd and 10. Rivers in the pocket. Rivers delivers. It's Keenan Allen for the touchdown. Phillip Rivers to Allen. And that quiets the crowd in Minneapolis. 34 yards. Injured player is Xavier Rhodes, the talented corner for Minnesota.
Well, I hate to repeat myself, but I'm going to go ahead and say you can never count out number 17. Give him a chance to move this team. It looked like things were absolutely as dire as they could possibly be for San Diego with a 3rd and 18 from their own 12. Hits Floyd for 39 and then finds Allen behind the secondary and a walk-in touchdown. 5 for 7 on the drive for 94 yards for Phillip Rivers. Awesome.
Rhodes colliding with Zendejo. Zendejo was okay, but Rhodes down in a heap. So Rhodes going for the tackle. Yeah, it was right there.
They got a knee to the midsection, it appeared.
The concern right now is for Xavier Rhodes.
First touchdown of the season for Keenan Allen.
Terrence Newman has his helmet off, checking on his fellow defensive back. Newman has emerged as a leader for this team despite just signing on as a free agent, a 1-year deal. And Xavier Rhodes, 25th pick overall in 2013. Physical corner. long at 6'1", 218, and he's sitting up. Fans respond. Phillip Rivers is now 12 of 19, 163 yards and a touchdown. Rhodes is up on his own, but getting a little bit of help to make his way over to the Minnesota sideline. Again, San Diego has not held the lead at any point in the first 3 quarters in the first 3 weeks. Extra point away from making this a 10-7 game. 1:17 to play, first half. Josh Lambo on for the Chargers. Cyphers will hold it. Mike Wint, the snapper. Lambo's got it. And it's 10-7 now, Minnesota.
Well, let's see how Keenan Allen gets into the end zone here. Watch the coverage by the Vikings. Here's Rhodes, here's Zendejo, and here comes Allen. And watch Rivers throw. Zendejo getting a little bit late getting over there, as a great job by Allen to slip in behind Rhodes, and there's the collision. Rhodes going off the field does not look like he's going to be back anytime soon.
6 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown for Allen. The big play on that drive, the deep ball to Floyd. He and Rivers on the same page over the years. Malcolm Floyd in his 10th year in the NFL. And those two, even though you know it's coming, and that's what Malcolm Floyd does. It's all about the deep ball.
Yeah, and his ratio of touchdown catches to receptions is exactly what you want in a receiver. He's been in the end zone 32 times out of 295 catches.
Xavier Rhodes making his way to the locker room. Kickoff. Robinson, this is returnable. Tries to squeeze through some special teamers and stood up at the 25-yard line. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So it's 10-7 Minnesota, 112 to work with for Teddy Bridgewater and company. Matt Asiata is in. Vikings have 2 timeouts. Bridgewater in trouble. Gets rid of it. Hooks up with Asiata. And Asiata loses a yard on the play.
Now, last week against the Lions, Bridgewater was in trouble and found Adrian Peterson on a similar type of play. Peterson, though, took that one 49 yards. Asiata not quite as much as he loses a yard.
2nd and 11, down to 42 seconds left. Running play, Asiata. Knifing through across the 30. And nobody in a rush here after the 8-yard gain. That'll be the final play of this first half.
Much to the dismay of the Viking loyalty.
Playing here at TCF Bank Stadium on the campus of the University of Minnesota. It's a 2-year stint before heading to the new stadium next season. San Diego will have the football to start the second half. Minnesota's got the lead at the break. 10-7, Vikings in front. San Diego, a late burst in the second quarter, finishes with 180 yards of offense. The Vikings with a $155. End of the first half. Minnesota leads at 10-7 over San Diego. The Verizon Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. NFL on CBS, start of the third quarter. The Vikings leading the Chargers 10-7. Let's check out our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Can, Dan, and it's Phillip Rivers to Keenan Allen, end of the first half.
Yeah, tremendous drive by Rivers and the Chargers, and a little bit of misfortune there for the Vikings and two defensive backs running into each other, and Rhodes getting injured at the end of that first half.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Okay, concerns, issues for San Diego offensively. That was the big play, but what needs to change for the Chargers to really get into the kind of groove they need offensively?
Well, there's so much pressure on that offensive line right now because there's so many injuries.
Yeah.
And so they've got to be able to run the ball more to take pressure off that offensive line and, of course, off of number 17. You can see in the first half it was miserable for San Diego, but when you've got a quarterback like Rivers and his ability to fight that pressure and deliver under pressure, and the key thing for Rivers to start the second half, they go back to that opening coin toss. Chargers won the toss and elected to defer, so they will get the ball to start the second half. And we'll see if they can continue with that momentum that they had at the end of the first.
Brandon Oliver is waiting for the kick for San Diego. You know, we've talked about all of Phillip Rivers' superlatives and accolades. 30 different receivers that he has connected on for touchdowns in his career.
And that was Keenan Allen's first of this season. Allen has now 13 in his short career.
Blair Walsh will kick it off for Minnesota. Second half is underway. Over the head of Oliver and into the stands as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, and according to Mike McCoy, the hope is that there is momentum here in the third quarter, and he feels that's what Phillip Rivers brings to this team. He can always have a quick strike. I thought Mike Zimmer was much more pointed in his comments, though, specifically about his offense. He thought that Teddy Bridgewater wasn't as sharp as he normally is in that first half. He felt like the blocking must improve to allow Peterson to go off here in this second half. And as for Xavier Rhodes, he is being evaluated for a concussion. As we hear more, we'll let you know.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. We talk about all the issues that San Diego has had on the offensive line. Let's not forget, Minnesota lost a big piece in John Sullivan, their starting center, to back surgery, the leader of that group. And that has sent Joe Berger into a more pronounced role. On first and 10 from the 20 for Rivers and the Chargers. And he keeps feeding it to Keenan Allen. Players whistle dead after the gain of 7. Trey Waynes, childhood friends with Melvin Gordon, is now in there for Minnesota defensively.
And who does Phillip Rivers, the 13-year, 12-year veteran of the Chargers, go after immediately is the rookie number 1 pick, Trey Waynes.
11th pick overall out of Michigan State. Waynes out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Same high school teammates with Melvin Gordon.
22.
Kenosha Bradford High. Give it up to Woodhead, and nothing there. Woodhead snuffed out by Harrison Smith on the play. It's a loss of 4.
Well, Harrison plays like a linebacker a lot. He's very close to the line of scrimmage on this and very strong. That is not a horse collar tackle because it's on the front of the jersey, and he slid his hand down. The jersey did not grab the shoulder pads. How about that for a left-handed tackle?
He played running back in high school, and he said that's how he got recruited. Schools got interested in him and then got switched to defense. He has a lot of respect for running backs, just not on that particular play. And it's a 3rd and 7 now for the Chargers. Play clock down to 1. Rivers out of the gun. Rush is coming. Minnesota firing on all cylinders on that D-line. Tom Johnson with the sack. 3rd Minnesota sack of the afternoon.
Well, 92 just is unblocked. Fluker looking around, but right here in the double circles is number 92. First sack of his career. Real confusion on that offensive line.
It was so good you double circle. That's a special play. Cypress, some pressure. Marcus Sherrill's waiting for it. Good pump from Cypress. Sherrill's range is over. Now coming back to the other side. Sherrill's Hit from behind, but look at the field position for Minnesota to open up with its first possession of the second half. 21-yard return. Stuckey with the stick after the 51-yard punt by Cypress.
Only net 30 yards on that, so a case of Cypress out kicking his coverage. And tremendous field position to start the second half. Let's see how aggressive the Vikings are.
56.
Going out with 3 tight ends again.
First and 10 at the 43 of San Diego. Peterson, stiff arm, outside. Peterson, Adrian Peterson cutting to the clear. Peterson is gone. Touchdown Vikings.
Well, when you think about the Vikings offense, you think about number 28, and he provides the aggressive start to the second half. What strength does he have to stiff arm right at the line of scrimmage? Watch this left hand right to Jimmy Wilson's face. And then the sharp cut here gets away from Weddle. Breaks that tackle. Now he's just thinking about how high is my high step going to be?
The explosive abilities of Adrian Peterson. Twice he has taken it to the end zone today. 14 carries, 93 yards. Now the crowd is charged up in Minneapolis.
And if 2 weeks ago he didn't feel like himself, I'm sure he feels like himself after that high step and touchdown.
The 2012 NFL MVP. Over 10,000 rushing yards in his career. And the electrifying ability on any given play. Peterson and Bridgewater, the future bright in Minnesota. It took one play for Mike Zimmer's team. It covered 43 yards on the run by Peterson, and it's 17-7 Vikings. Another booming kick from Blair Walsh, touchback.
Let's check out this 43-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. He's going to come to the line of scrimmage here and then sees the opening to the outside. Peterson displays all the attributes that all the great ones have. Power, speed, moves, and a stylish way to finish.
So the running back comparison, it is all Peterson right now. San Diego has not been able to establish the rookie Gordon. First down at the 20-yard line. San Diego now down by 10. Hand off to Gordon. Deals with the first contact and keeps the legs turning. Nice run by Gordon, a 9-yard pickup. Anthony Barr didn't bring him down after that initial burst by Gordon.
That was an impressive run by Melvin Gordon as he met Barr right in the hole and just bounced off him. Picked up 9.
Said he looked up to Peterson, looked up to LaDainian Tomlinson, Jamal Charles, Arian Foster. Those are the guys that really caught his eye growing up. 10 carries, 34 yards. It's enough for a first down. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage is now the 30.
Gives you an idea of what Frank Reich, offensive coordinator, wants to do to get the momentum back for San Diego. Feed Gordon here, see if he can get off and bust a long one.
Xavier Rhodes not available, so it is Trey Waynes, the rookie, getting an opportunity. Play clock down to 2. Rivers on the delay to Gordon. Gerald Hodges, first man there, 3-yard pickup for Gordon.
Hodges, a middle linebacker, just playing his 3rd game at the middle linebacker position, but Zimmer says he's an excellent athlete and he's matured quite a bit once he was given that difficult assignment.
It is a foot injury for Jason Verrett. Just updating you on his condition with San Diego defensively. He will not return. Rivers, incomplete, trying to slip it in to Keenan Allen, but he and Phillips were very tight on their routes.
And that's because Harrison Smith, as is that Hairston?
It is.
Man, you can see that Phillips is actually blocking. If that's not pass interference, I don't know what is. Harrison Smith saw that route, broke on it. And now Hairston is going to be asked to leave, and Kenny Wiggins will take his spot.
They're just running out of people.
Well, they are. And Fluker has a bad ankle. Chris Watt with a bad groin. We saw Orlando Franklin look like a knee injury earlier.
So Kenny Wiggins will line up at left guard. He's the second-year offensive lineman out of Fresno State. This is a 3rd and 7 now for San Diego. 5 receiver set. They press the line. Rivers underneath to Woodhead, asking him to create, and he cannot. Grabbed down low by Waynes.
And you see what George Edwards and Mike Zimmer, knowing the Chargers running out of offensive linemen, what do? They come with a blitz right at Rivers, forcing Rivers to get rid of the ball quickly and asking an awful lot of Danny Woodhead on the outside. There's the blitz with Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr, and Rivers bites the turf one more time.
And another punt for Mike Cyphers. Marcus Sherrill standing at his own 17 for Minnesota. Sherrill fields cleaner. Hit from behind on the spin move and a flag down as he crossed the 25. 47-yard punt, a 9-yard return.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 44. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Asiata called on the penalty. Vikings will have the football. They've got a 10-point lead on San Diego, third quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by Dodge.
Entering week 2, San Diego was allowing 5.16 yards per carry by running backs. Only New England was allowing more, 5.3. And Adrian Peterson has burned them. 14 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 43. After penalty, Minnesota takes over at the 13. Knocked down Melvin Ingram there defensively for San Diego.
Yeah, Ingram smiling, knowing that if he makes his catch, he scores. That's the recognition here. Eyeing the quarterback. Well, got all the way through. It might have hit him right in the face mask.
2nd and 10 now for the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater is 10 of 17, 84 yards and a pick. Peterson single setback. Peterson drilled Kendall Reyes there. 2-yard pickup for Peterson.
Now, he was averaging 6.6 yards per carry before that last one, but this is a 21-yarder in the first quarter. And then his touchdown plunge there, but the big play here, you know, how's that song go on? Sometimes the windshield, sometimes the bug. Well, Eric Weddle was the bug, and he just bounces off the big thighs of Adrian Peterson. Dire Straits.
Yeah, I have it. iPod. Mark Knopfler. Yeah. We'll check it. CD. 3rd and 8. Bridgewater slings it to the outside, and Jarius Wright. Teddy Bridgewater connects for 9 yards.
Evan was talking about how Mike Zimmer wasn't really happy with the play of Bridgewater in that first half, but that was his best pass of the afternoon. His deep out route there across the field, and an important first down.
On the NFL Today, you might have seen Teddy Bridgewater featured this week on Extra Points. Did you know he was a huge Temptations fan? Dan, I know you too proud today. Peterson tries to drive, picks up 4 yards in the process. Wilson and Williams combined.
You know, that tells me a lot about Bridgewater, though.
He's a throwback.
Well, and that is one of the all-time great Motown sound. The Temps.
Very mature. We had a chance to sit down with him, and I was impressed just by the way he carries himself. Certainly doesn't come across as a 22-year-old in his second year in the league. Patterson. Cordero Patterson cuts it upfield. Eric Weddle there defensively. It's a 9-yard pickup for Patterson.
Now, this is a jet sweep. Perfect handoff by Bridgewater, but look at this effort to pick up the first down by Patterson. Shedding tacklers, Weddle will get him down finally, but not before he picks up the first.
There was a play last week in that victory over Detroit where the headset went down and Bridgewater had to come up with a play on his own, and he had a go-to play. They got a first down on it, and he immediately looked in the direction of Mike Zimmer and smiled as if, hey, I got this. Bridgewater, a little high. Cole Pruitt, rookie out of Southern Illinois, the intended receiver.
And you know, in true quarterback fashion, I asked him, well, what play did you go to? So I went to a pass play, of course.
It was a run-pass option.
No, there's no option.
There's no option.
Come on.
When it's on the quarterback.
You get a chance to call your own plays. You're not giving the ball. Well, you know, giving it to Adrian Peterson, not a bad idea, but.
And he said, look, comparing last year to this year, having Peterson behind him, a future Hall of Famer, said it's exciting to watch him. I used to play video games, and I would be Peterson. And now I get to see it for real.
And not take the hits.
Good point. 2nd and 10. On time, Bridgewater on the slant to Thielen. And methodically moving the football, 11-yard pickup through the air.
Nice little route by Thielen as he gets in aside of Patrick Robinson. And the ball just perfectly thrown on a slant route. You don't want to lead the receiver too much, put it right in front of his face so he can snatch that ball, not lose stride, and as Thielen did that time, he picked up a first down.
8th play of the drive. They have 3 first downs on this possession.
3 tight ends again, bottom of the screen.
Line of scrimmage is the 49. A little bit of a jump. And Jerick McKinnon met by Teo, 1-yard gain. NFL Today update. We're sending it to New York. JB, Tony Gonzalez.
Ian, Andy, boy, Andrew wishes he had this back. Yeah, he's getting picked off right here by Paris Cox. He's going to take this all the way back down there to the 3-yard line. Next play, touchdown for the Tennessee Titans. I tell you what, things are falling apart for those Colts. 24-14, Tennessee's up.
Ian, I'm sure Dan grimaced on that one as well. Back to Ian Eagle.
Yeah, I noticed a grimace.
Because it was an interception?
Mike Wallace. Cut down by Weddle. But now they're picking up chunk plays against this San Diego defense. 17 yards on the catch and run.
When you got speed like Wallace, they're going to play off of Patrick Robinson, about 10 yards off Wallace that time. Smart play call by Norv Turner, seeing the corner way off and telling Bridgewater to look to Wallace.
And you've got this chess match going on between Turner and his former assistant, John Pagano. Pagano became a defensive coordinator when Turner gave him the job. It was Turner's last year in San Diego.
They still are very good friends.
Back to the ground game, Peterson. Pretty cut by Peterson, and it is enough for a first down. 10-yard pickup.
Well, which cut did you like? The
All of
first or the fourth?
I think Norv Turner liked them all.
Well, let's check it out. The offensive line really getting off well. Huge hole. And the thing about Peterson, look at the cut there, and then knowing to get straight up the field right here.
17 carries, 109 yards against this Pagano D. 11th play of the drive. They've used up over 5 minutes. Peterson got an angle for a yard. That's it. Melvin Ingram hemming him in.
I thought Peterson was going to go over and shake hands with Jimmy Wilson there after getting roughed up. That's not a good idea when you shake hands with Adrian Peterson.
No, he's the human clamp. You elected to go for the fist in our meeting. I went in for the handshake, and quickly realized
Sorry about that.
it was a
aren't you?
bad call. I should follow the veteran.
Yeah, you just never want to shake hands with him. He's a great guy and everything, but the fist bump will do.
2nd and 9 now for the Vikings. Peterson will get a breather. Michael Pruitt is the motion man. Take the handoff. Bridgewater tosses it at the feet of McKinnon. Darius Philon with some pressure, and a penalty marker is down to the 26.
There was some confusion there. This might be an illegal formation. That's actually an offensive lineman downfield.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 63. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
You really can't blame Fusco on that play for being downfield, because the Chargers had the screen figured out, and Bridgewater trying to make something, realized he had to throw it in the ground, but by the time he did, Fusco doing what he was supposed to do, was getting downfield and blocking. Interesting, though, the Chargers decided to decline the penalty, take the play, brings up a 3rd down, but still good field position, well inside of the range of Blair Walsh.
Minnesota will use a timeout. They were still huddled up. Play clock was down to 6. So it'll be a 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. They've got the lead 17-7 for San Diego. 4:09 to play in the 3rd. Minnesota in this quarter. 107 yards. San Diego limited to 7. This is a 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. From the 22. Bridgewater, plenty of time. Incomplete. Mike Wallace in the general vicinity. Patrick Robinson was with him defensively.
That's a great play by Patrick Robinson as Wallace trying to go to the corner. Robinson just with him, stride for stride, the entire way. Makes that pass impossible to complete with that type of coverage.
Robinson, former New Orleans Saint, signed as a free agent. Blair Walsh on for a 40-yard attempt to extend the lead. Walsh knocks it through with a penalty marker down.
This is an automatic 1st down. Chargers caught holding.
Holding. Defense number 54. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Take the points off the board, keep the ball.
That's a crusher.
This is one of those situations where you're trying to pull a lineman out of the way so you can send somebody through to try to block it. But it's a point of emphasis for the officials. There's 2 officials right behind the defensive line looking for that type of play.
So new life on the drive. Minnesota not only now with a chance to put more points on the board, but can use up more clock. So 3 tight ends in this formation. Cordero Patterson is out there for Minnesota, and a 1st down at the 17. 3rd special teams penalty against San Diego here today. Peterson driven towards the sideline by Jimmy Wilson.
Now we'll go back and take a look at this penalty. Number 54 here is Melvin Ingram. Watch as he's going to come across here, grab the shoulder of number 61. And that will cause that Joe Berger, not playing the snapper, playing the left tackle there. Costly penalty on Ingram.
15th play of the drive. We're down to 3:42 and counting left in the 3rd.
Did you notice how Peterson was wrapping that ball up there as the tackler was coming?
Ball security. Big emphasis this week after his performance last week. Pitch. Peterson. Can he get number 3 on the stutter step? Peterson is down. Jerry Atauchu saves a touchdown.
And a good job by Eric Weddle, too. As Peterson saw, it was just Weddle at first and himself before that goal line. But look at Atauchu here come in. Drives his shoulder into Peterson. Knee goes down. Ball short of the goal line.
It's 1st and goal for the Vikings.
situation last week. Zach Line got the carry for the touchdown.
It's Line. He's got the touchdown. Back-to-back weeks. The fullback is in again.
He ought to go and renegotiate because he's had 2 carries this year, both for touchdowns, both from the 1-yard line. Left side of the screen is Zach Line. Good blocking there by Ellison. Ellison takes Donald Butler out of the way, and Line gets in easily.
A steamroll by Line, and the Vikings, 16 plays, 86 yards. Extra point away from a 24-7 lead. Pretty high percentage for Line. 2 carries, 2 touchdowns in his career.
For a total of 2 yards.
Extra point is good by Walsh. And Minnesota extends the lead. Zach Line in the end zone. And a hug from the tailback Peterson. It's 24-7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Rent.com, where everything's totally legit.
Long drive by Minnesota. It took 7 minutes and 19 seconds. Culminates in the 1-yard touchdown run by Line. 24-7, the Vikings lead at 2:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And the penalty on Melvin Ingram cost the Chargers 4 points.
Official update on Xavier Rhodes. It is a concussion. He is out. Walsh on the approach. And he does his job once again. Chargers will have it at the 20, now in a 17-point hole. Week 3 continues later today on CBS. For some of you on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. 24-7 Vikings, San Diego with a 1st and 10 at its own 20. Rivers relaying instructions to Gordon. It's Gordon up the middle. A blast by Gordon, a hit from behind. 1st down, 13 yards. Good block by Robinson up front on this makeshift offensive line for San Diego.
The Chargers have faced a long field all afternoon. This is their 9th possession. 7 times they started at the 20-yard line.
Working on the right foot of Chris Hairston, so Kenny Wiggins still in there at left guard. Rivers gets rid of it. Good hands by Floyd.
That shot hurt Rivers too. Slow to get up. Anthony Barr getting in there with the hit on Rivers. He steps into the throw and then takes a shot to the ribs. Good legal hit by Barr. And a painful one at that.
All-American out of UCLA, Anthony Barr.
Yeah.
He just gave Phil Rivers
needs
a
time
shot.
too. He's down. Mike McCoy seeing that called timeout wisely. He's going to have to come off the field, and Kellen Clemens will be the Charger quarterback for at least 1 play.
Another injury. Let's head to New York. JB and Tony Gonzalez standing by.
Hey, Ian, you know this guy is Mr. Durable here.
Yeah, he is, JB. Right here, you're going to see Mark Barron come out of the screen. Gets tripped up, goes low. Certainly not intentional, but definitely hit Ben Roethlisberger's knee. You see the look on his face. He will not return for the rest of this game. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. We will give you updates as we get them.
Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
All right, JB, 2 of the best in the game. Roethlisberger and Rivers.
But because the Chargers called timeout, Rivers can come back in the game. And that's where he's done. Smart timeout by Mike McCoy to give his quarterback a chance to gather himself.
Catches breath, literally. Gordon trying to break free. And he's bottled up shy of the 40-yard line. Anthony Barr again, first man. And then the Vikings followed suit. Loss of 2.
Yeah, the rookie just trying too hard to make something happen there.
It's a 3rd and 3 for San Diego. Danny Woodhead is in.
Vikings looking to pressure Rivers one more time, but they crowd the line of scrimmage.
5 receiver look. Rivers from the gun. Pressure. Rivers is on time to Phillips for a first down. 5-yard pickup.
Gerald Hodges with the tight coverage on the tight end there that time. Phillips with a perfect pass by Rivers.
Under a minute to go now in the 3rd quarter. Woodhead remains in there. Chargers down 17. And a flag comes down on the far side.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Joe Barksdale on the right side of that San Diego line.
Now the last time Malcolm Floyd had single coverage at the bottom of the screen with Trey Waynes, the rookie. This seems like a good time for Rivers to give a shot to his longtime favorite target.
That's 6 penalties costing the Chargers 64 yards. Just 1 penalty against Minnesota for 10 yards. Last week, 10 penalties for 97 yards in the win over Detroit. On the draw for Woodhead, stacked up, 2-yard pickup. Anthony Barr again getting his helmet in there. End of the 3rd quarter in Minneapolis, 24-7. The Vikings leading the Chargers, the NFL on CBS. Rivers ball catch not free. That ball still loose. Phillip Rivers to Allen, and that quiets the crowd in Minneapolis. Peterson slices through. Touchdown Vikings. The drought is over. The Minnesota Vikings 24, the San Diego Chargers 7 as we start the 4th quarter in Minneapolis. Rivers operating out of the gun on a 2nd and 13. Rivers steps up and fires. Incomplete. Lunging attempt by Allen.
It's been a pressure-filled day for Phillip Rivers as he steps up in the pocket to get away from Barr there. And good coverage by Trey Waynes. Ball just slightly off target because of the pressure and having to step up in the pocket.
So now it's a 3rd and 13, just underway in the 4th. Chargers trying to avoid starting the season 1-2 with home games coming up against Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Rush coming. Gets rid of it to Stevie Johnson. And Johnson works his way through traffic out of bounds at the 29-yard line and a flag thrown back at the 37.
Yeah, roughing the passer. They knocked Rivers down, and that drew the flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 97. 15-yard penalty added into the play. First down.
Brian Robinson there. And from the other side, it's Griffin. And Griffin trying to hold Rivers up. Draws the flag. Big flag there. Puts the Chargers in the red zone now. And they need to score, and score in a hurry.
So attack on the 15. They'll spot the football at the 14. Just the 2nd penalty of the day against the Vikings. Lions wide receiver Golden Tate accused the Vikings of taking cheap shots against his quarterback Matthew Stafford last week. First and 10. Play clock is down to 2. Rivers to the end zone. Bobbled and dropped by Floyd.
Now the hit by Andrews and Dejo causes this incompletion. Floyd, the outside receiver on a post route. He's got position on Waynes, but over the top comes Sendejo. Coverage by Waynes, too.
You got 5 2. Go 80! 80! Go 80!
Second and 10 for San Diego.
52!
Rivers throws it underneath, and it's offline. Again, Malcolm Floyd, the intended target.
That time Linfall, Joseph drills Rivers after that short pass. You've got to be able to protect the quarterback on a 3-step drop. Rivers let go of the ball and was planted again. Watch number 98 there, Joseph. Not a cheap shot. Rivers needs better protection.
Working out of the gun on 3rd and 10. Chargers need a touchdown. Rivers hooks a pass. Intercepted. Chad Greenway is there. And Greenway's got a convoy in front of him. Greenway down the sideline. Chad Greenway's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. A penalty marker back at the 34.
One of the officials is down at that 34-yard line. Rivers under tremendous heat again. Some question as to whether Greenway might have stepped out of bounds, but he certainly had enough help.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Minnesota bench during the return. The touchdown counts. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
I think what happened is somebody on the Minnesota sidelines got in the way of the official, but the touchdown counts. Chad Greenway with his 10th career interception, the second time he's taken one back for a touchdown.
He restructured his contract to remain with this organization, one of the leaders of the team, longest tenured Viking. He's been so steady over his 10 years. A Pro Bowler, back-to-back years in 2011, 2012, and now a 91-yard interception return to add to his personal highlight reel.
Now the Vikings have been able to take advantage of the numerous injuries on that offensive line of San Diego's and constant pressure on Rivers. And then Greenway with a gift and tremendous team effort to get him those 91 yards down the sidelines.
Extra point, Blair Walsh. It's 31-7, Vikings. Chad Greenway taking it all the way for Minnesota.
But a crossing route here by Stevie Johnson. And the ball off his hands, and Greenway hauls it in. But watch the official at the top of the screen here. He's going to get hit by an assistant coach on the sidelines. That's what drew the penalty against the bench. But look at all these purple shirts convoying Chad Greenway to the end zone. Surprise, surprise.
So Chad Greenway, his snaps have been limited compared to what he was accustomed to through the years for Minnesota. They're deep at linebacker. They have to kick it off from the 20-yard line. And Walsh still has enough length to get it to the end zone. Oliver lost the ball for a moment, recovers, and he's brought down shy of the 20 by Sherrills on special teams. So Phillip Rivers will come back out. Last season he had 2 pick sixes. He's already got 2 in 3 games this season.
Hardly his fault though on that one. Did what he can to get the ball to his wide receiver, and Johnson tough on those crossing routes at times. We talked about how the quarterback wants to put it in front of the receiver. That ball slightly behind him, but still a very catchable ball.
That is now 8 giveaways in 3 games for San Diego.
Rocky.
First down for the Chargers, now trailing 31-7, early stages of the fourth. Rivers throws, snaps that pass to Malcolm Floyd, and a 9-yard pickup on first down. Robert Blanton is in defensively for Minnesota in the place of Andrew Sendejo. Blanton was the former starter there. Second and 1. Gordon got enough. First down. Newman and Smith combined to bring him down. A 3-yard pickup. Send it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, off the top of the show, we talked about how Phillip Rivers and his familiarity with Mike Zimmer and how that would help their game plan. Well, it goes both ways. We spoke with Harrison Smith, the safety for the Vikings. He said the ability to watch what the Chargers did against the Bengals last week allowed them to see themselves in the exact positions they would be in today, and obviously gave them a ton of confidence, and we're seeing that out there.
Yeah, Smith, Evan, added that we've watched so much Bengals film because of Mike Zimmer. Pass to John Phillips. And Smith plays the role of Reggie Nelson when he watches that tape.
And of course, with Terrence Newman in the backfield as well, tremendous locker room guy, a lot of experience, 37 years old and still starting at corner. And he's been a big help as well.
He's turned out to be a huge addition for this Minnesota D. Woodhead up the middle. NFL Today update. Send it to New York. JB and Tony.
Atlanta spotted Dallas 14 points and have exploded since.
They have come back in a big way, JB, due to this man right here, Devontae Freeman. He takes this from 7 yards out. He's got 3 touchdowns on the day.
Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
So Devontae Freeman stepping to the forefront, guys. Atlanta has rallied against Dallas. Catching one for Woodhead, penalty marker on the play. It's back at the 36-yard line.
Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's DJ Fluker, who's done an excellent job to get himself back into the lineup. The problem is there have been leaks elsewhere on that offensive line because of injuries.
Well, and he's dealing with a bad ankle. You can see a slight limp there. And a couple of his running mates up front. Chris Watt left the game early because of his groin problems. We saw Orlando Franklin be helped off the field. It's been a horrible day for the Charger offensive line, and here's another one.
Yeah, it's King Dunlap starting left tackle.
They really don't have anybody else.
They would have to play Hairston at tackle and keep Wiggins at guard. Robinson in the middle, Fluker and Barksdale on the right side.
And really, this is where I think that maybe Mike McCoy ought to consider taking Phillip Rivers and putting him on the bench just to keep him healthy for the rest of the season. We have 13 more games in the NFL season for everybody. He's taken a big beating today, and the chances of coming back in this game with this situation, with these injuries, that's an awful lot to ask.
San Diego will be heading home to take on the Cleveland Browns week 4. Then they host Pittsburgh for Monday Night Football. This Ben Roethlisberger injury obviously is a huge storyline now in the NFL. King Dunlap walks off on his own power. So Hairston is in, but they're going to move Barksdale to left tackle, it appears.
Wiggins goes to right tackle. Fluker right guard.
And Hairston at left guard with Robinson backing up Watt now in there. First and 20. Rivers underneath. Allen the catch. He thought he might be able to get a step for the curl upfield. Instead, he's limited to a 6-yard pickup by Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings, they can afford to just allow that type of pass play for the rest of the day. Play a real loose zone here, not totally a prevent, but just let Rivers pick away as the clock continues to tick, down by 24.
Yellow's on 4. Go 90. Yeah, 52. 52. Orange got 2. Oh,
This does not look like the team that gave up 230 yards rushing to San Francisco in week 1. Rivers in the pocket, downfield, almost intercepted. Trey Waynes got his hands on it, would have been his first career interception in the NFL. Floyd, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Floyd just got a fingertip on that ball, or Waynes would have had his first NFL pick. Look at that beautiful camera work right there. Remember, Wayne's in for the injured Xavier Rhodes, who's out with a concussion. So it's important for Waynes to step up as he did on that play.
Pretty amazing. Two childhood friends that both make it to the NFL in the same year, playing week 3 of their rookie season. This catch by Woodhead, flagged down at the 46. Woodhead brought down by Greenway. 8-yard gain. Will it be nullified? It will be
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 76. Penalties declined. 4th down.
It's one of those jailbreak screens, and DJ Fluker getting out too early. Rivers had to come off the screen, and Woodhead read it as well and ran the slant route, but Fluker down the field.
Yeah, Rivers staying out there on a 4th and 6. 10:32 to play. And a timeout call by Minnesota. Stops the clock with 10.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. Thursday night football, you get your weekend started when the Steelers take on the Ravens on CBS and NFL Network.
The question is the health of Ben Roethlisberger, as he went off with a leg injury of some type. This is a real bitter rivalry. Goes way back to the old Cleveland Browns days with the Steelers. Of course, they moved to Baltimore.
It's 4th and 6 for San Diego. Woodhead in the backfield. Rivers steps up. Rivers in trouble. Rivers is done. Sharif Floyd, first man there. And San Diego turns it over on downs. Minnesota takes over in complete control at home. The purple.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Toyota, let's go places. And by McDonald's, teaming up with the NFL like never before.
U.S. Bank Stadium currently under construction. They are on schedule. Reportedly will be ready in July. They will host the Super Bowl 2018 state-of-the-art facility. They're putting it right in the same spot the old Metrodome was. And it's really doing wonders for the downtown area here in Minneapolis. Jarek McKinnon. 3-yard pickup for McKinnon as Philon is there defensively. 21 of 34, 246 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and a lost fumble for Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, you see that new stadium and all the development that's going on here in Minneapolis surrounding that stadium. A pretty good lesson for perhaps San Diego to think about. I mean, here, Minnesota's getting the Super Bowl.
They are.
San Diego would be automatically in the Super Bowl every 5 or 6 years. People want to come to San Diego in February.
I think they want to just go to San Diego in general, right?
I'd rather go there in February than here.
Fair point. McKinnon falls forward, 3-yard pickup.
But you build a new stadium, and what do you get? You get the grand game itself. Levi Stadium is the site for Super Bowl 50. New stadium, the newest in the NFL.
Happened with MetLife as well. Dallas. Adrian Peterson, 14 games with 100 or more rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns since 2007. That's the most in the NFL over that span. Today, 126 on the ground and 2 scores. Asiata will get an opportunity. Under 9 minutes to play now. 31-7 Vikings. On a 3rd and 4. Rolling. Bridgewater throws it away. Cordera Law with the pressure. King Dunlap, by the way, is being evaluated for a head injury.
We talk about the offensive line problems. Remember, Ladarius Green couldn't play today because of battling concussions, and Antonio Gates still 2 weeks away from playing because of his suspension.
He won't play until week 5. That's when he is eligible to return against Pittsburgh. San Diego uses a timeout. 8:46 to play, and Minnesota up big on the Chargers here at home. Tomorrow on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, don't miss special guests, First Lady Michelle Obama, plus Mindy Kaling and John Legend. That's tomorrow on The Late Show. Well, the backup for San Diego is the veteran Kellen Clemens out of Oregon. He's got the helmet on. And San Diego will get the football. The punt from Locke, Keenan Allen, return man. This one bounces at the 4, and it's down at the 11. 28-yard punt. Kellen Clemens takes over for the Chargers. The 5th straight year, the Vikings have partnered with Second Harvest Heartland to help tackle senior hunger in Minnesota. Viking players join United Healthcare employees on Tuesday for a food packing volunteer project. In addition, the Vikings raised money before today's game in an attempt to provide 52,525 meals for seniors, one for every seat here inside TCF Bank Stadium.
52's the mark.
San Diego, 1st and 10 at the 11, and Kellen Clemens seeing action at the quarterback position with Minnesota holding on to the comfortable lead. Brandon Oliver gets the call. 3-yard pickup. Chad Greenway in on the stop. And this has been a rough second half of offense for the Chargers.
They were never able to establish anything on the ground. So with the pressure on Rivers because of the injuries and the fact the Vikings get the lead, they tee off on the quarterback because there's no threat to the run. It's just this is what you get for your second half possessions.
2nd and 7 now for the Chargers. Clemens will hand it off. Oliver. Brought down to the 17 after the 3-yard pickup. Shamar Stephan over there defensively for the Vikings. So Kellen Clemens, a 2nd-round pick in the 2006 draft, veteran backup. He's played for the Jets, Houston, St. Louis. He and Phillip Rivers have developed a close relationship in that quarterback room. Third and 4 now for San Diego. We approach the 7-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Clemens will put it in the air. Connects with Keenan Allen for a first down. They'll move the chains, working on the veteran Terrence Newman for 6 yards.
And the bright spot for the San Diego passing game has been Keenan Allen today. 9 catches, 91 yards, and that 1 touchdown at the end of the first half.
Well, we told you about San Diego's schedule coming up. Minnesota will be at Denver week 4, and then they've got the bye.
And they're relatively healthy after today, especially when compared to San Diego's troubles.
It turned out to be a terrific day for Minnesota. Alumni Day. Nick Tingelhoff honored at halftime, receiving his Hall of Fame ring. The longtime center for the Vikings, who was just inducted in Canton. Keenan Allen, another catch. That one covers 14 yards, and he is over 100 yards on the day.
And the return of Fran Tarkenton.
That's just amazing. When I heard the story about Tarkenton, this is just his 2nd home game in the last 14 years.
Busy man.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, and he came back to the Hall of Fame this year because he helped present Nick Tingelhoff for his induction.
Clemens steps up and fires too high. He actually had Allen open. Couldn't get it to him. Trey Waynes back there for the Vikings. A lot of excitement, though, here in Minneapolis for this new stadium. They played at the Metrodome from 1982 to 2013. And this 2-year stint here at TCF Bank Stadium.
How lucky were they to have this brand new stadium to
fortunate.
go to? Yeah.
This opened in 2009, the horseshoe-style setup at College Field. But it's a beautiful facility, and it was available. NFL Today update. JB, Tony Gonzalez.
Ian, Andrew Luck, shades of Dan Fouts.
Yes, right here. You never count this man out. Dante Moncrief goes up for the 11-yard touchdown. That's 2 touchdowns in 56 seconds for these Colts. They're coming back. 28-27. They take the lead. 5:52 left.
Making amends for those 2 picks. Back to Iron Eagle.
Luck makes it interesting, doesn't he?
Well, I just wonder if JB says the same thing to Trent Green and to Rich Gannon.
And Phil?
And Phil. He must. Just to bring us into it. I think it's great.
I don't think so. I think it's specifically for you.
Or what it was on the interceptions.
You're special. Clemens, nice adjustment. Stevie Johnson tosses the ball in disgust because it's been a rough day for the Chargers. Replay every game of the 2015 season on demand with NFL Game Pass. Go to NFL.com/Game Pass to start your free trial. So Clemens 3 out of 4, 35 yards. Johnson his third catch covering 46 yards. Clemens in for Phillip Rivers. This game out of reach. Now this is one of those games where the numbers don't mean a whole lot because San Diego has outgained Minnesota 324 to 285. Oliver is chopped down as he crosses the 45. It's a 3-yard pickup. Harrison Smith combining with Brian Robinson.
Yeah, when you think about the field position, most of the day San Diego always had a long field. Blair Walsh had 5 touchbacks. Chargers' average starting position was on the 17-yard line. And for the Vikings, double that. They started on average at the 34.
Second and 7 now, 3:40 to play. Vikings will move to 2-1. Give it to Oliver. Through a lane on a spin move. Hodges hits him along with Munnerlyn. 5-yard pickup for Oliver.
Oliver to the 37-yard line.
3rd and 2. Well, for Mike Zimmer, it was a brutal opener, but since that point, he saw a lot of fight last week in the win over Detroit. It's carried over here into week 3. We asked him about Bridgewater. He said everything is better in year 2. He's just aware of everything around him. The progression has been obvious for the Louisville product. Oliver again up the gut defensively. They were looking for a certain kind of player, kind of players that Zimmer had in Cincinnati, and they've taken to the system, there's no doubt.
You talked about the strength and depth that they have at linebacker position, and then really a solid safety in Harrison Smith, so they're able to control defenses on the ground against San Francisco. San Francisco plays just old-fashioned power football with 2 and 3 tight ends, and they just overpowered the Vikings. They really weren't prepared for that type of offensive onslaught, but against Detroit, now against San Diego, more conventional styles of offense in today's NFL. Vikings have been very good.
And we know this game meant something to Norv Turner. Nice catch by Keenan Allen, Turner, the former head coach of the San Diego Chargers. We asked Teddy Bridgewater about it. He said, yeah, Norv's excited about this game. We know the history. The team's well aware of it, and they have delivered for their offensive coordinator. It's 31-7, Vikings. Stay tuned. NFL Today update presented by FanDuel. Time permitting. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That is their natural hair.
Really?
Shows a lot of dedication as a fan.
It's Ragnar. This old Ragnar.
I think he's watching right now. 2nd and 1. They may need a new agent. Oliver, the carry. Brought down by Crichton.
He's representing himself, and that would be representing a fool, perhaps.
Well, you've got some other Viking representatives in the crowd, unofficial mascots.
I think these are all tryouts.
Yeah. There's a lot of applicants in.
It's like playing Where's Waldo?
Where's Ragnar? 3rd and 1 now for San Diego. Final minute 20. Keep it on the ground. Oliver for a first down. Takes it just inside the 20-yard line. 5-yard pickup. And the clock rolling with 1:06 remaining. Well, this guy will do it for free. That's a resume right there.
He's got to work on his uni, though.
Really?
Yeah, the vest and the tie, I don't know.
Maybe put that vest in the wash. Tumble dry. From the 19. Final 37 seconds. Clemens will take a shot. Touchdown! Keenan Allen pulls it in.
That's the 16th career touchdown pass by Kellen Clemens. This is a beauty, too, right on the line as Allen gets inside the corner in the trail position there. Sherrill's a little bit late. Perfect throw by Clemens.
That's a Ducks touchdown.
You could have used more of that last night. Whoa.
I think you know where I was going.
And I wish you'd go back there.
I think I will. Second of the day for Keenan Allen. 12 catches, 133 yards for Allen. Big week 1, and then last week just 2 catches for 16 yards. Allen, some huge numbers. Extra points good. Final 32 seconds. Minnesota improves to 2-1.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com. And by Under Armour. Rule yourself. I will.
Final seconds here in Minneapolis. Josh Lambo will kick it off. There's some window dressing for San Diego at the end of regulation to get that touchdown. Clemens to Allen. Marcus Sherrill's the deep man. Over his head. Minnesota will have it at the 20. Well, here's your eye-opener today. San Diego did not have a lot offensively to lean on. All day for AP. Peterson over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. On the defense of Chad Greenway, 91-yard interception return for the touchdown. And the Vikings, 350 yards of offense last week. They go for under 300 this week, but they made it count.
Yeah, the Vikings have got a lot of love in the offseason. People thinking they're going to have a good year with the return of Adrian Peterson, starting to look like the Vikings people have expected.
The Vikings, another strong performance from Minnesota. They defeat the Chargers 31-14 in Minneapolis. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, rest of our crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Minneapolis. Let's go to James Brown in New York. NFL Today update presented by FanDuel.